Hello everyone, my name is Rich Keener. I'm the Village Manager for the Village of Villa Park, and today is another one of our segments where we'll be discussing the upcoming Committee of the Whole and formal board meeting for Monday, June 13th. So let's start. So as I always explain, excuse me, that the Committee of the Whole starts at 7:30, and then immediately following the Committee of the Whole, the formal board meeting will commence. So let's start. So for the Committee of the Whole meeting for Monday, June 13th, it goes as follows. So number 1 is the call to order, the roll call. Number 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3 is the amendments of the agenda. And folks, that's the appropriate time for President Bullwinkle or a member of the Board of Trustees to ask for the agenda to be modified. Could be deleting something, adding something, changing the text, or having a particular question about an item that's on the agenda. Number 4 for Monday night is a presentation of the Villa Park Junior Women's Club scholarships. Number 5 for Monday night is to consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a redevelopment agreement between the village and Golden Spike LLC. So I'll kind of read you the summary and then I'll kind of just elaborate a little bit on it. So Golden Spike LLC proposed the development of a mixed-use complex to be known as Garden Station, which is intended to be located adjacent to Vermont to the north, Beverly to the east, Ardmore to the west, and Terrace Street to the south, approximately 150 feet north of the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad tracks. And folks, that's right adjacent to the metro station or so. Garden Station will be comprised of approximately 230 dwelling units. These units will include studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments, and 2-bedroom townhomes, ranging from approximately 600 square feet to approximately 1,400 square feet. Garden Station will also provide an indoor heated pool, clubhouse, fitness center, outdoor pool, and commercial retail space. This project will result in an investment by Golden Spike LLC of not less than $46 million. Due to the extraordinary cost to be incurred in connection with its development, including the demolition of the existing deteriorating and obsolete structures, and revamping and reconstructing all utility systems required to service the project, Golden Spike LLC has requested financial assistance from the village in order to proceed with the project. So folks, this has been quite a while in development due to numerous reasons, but one of the major reasons was the downturn in the economy. So now the economy is turning around, and so we're moving forward with this project. And Golden Spike LLC, again, is going to develop Garden Station, approximately 230 units. They're asking for financial assistance. And so the financial assistance is in the form of the tax increment financing district, and that has already been created about a year and a half ago for that particular area. And so this particular project will be using a HUD program. It is not going to be low-income housing, anything of that nature. It's going to be market rate. And then HUD will guarantee the bank loan, which Golden Spike LLC will have to apply and be awarded. And then HUD will guarantee that loan for 40 years. So it's kind of an interesting development. It's an interesting financial proposal also, and happy to see it move forward. A great addition to that area of the village, and that area right now is being worked on and through with the Ardmore Streetscape also. So please visit that area if you have any questions about the development. Come Monday night or send us an email. Be happy to respond also. So moving on to the Committee of the Whole agenda further for Monday night, June 13th, is number 6, is consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing the sale by public auction of personal property and seized vehicles owned by the village. So we've got a couple of items we're going to auction off. Number one is a village vehicle, number 112. It's a 2000 interstate equipment trailer. The bed's rusty and needs, it's beyond its useful life, quite frankly. So we'd like to sell that. Next is village vehicle number 5. It's a 2002 Ford Taurus. Next is a seized 1998 Ford Explorer Sport. Next is a seized 2000 GMC Yukon. Next is a seized 1993 Honda CB600 motorcycle. So those are the vehicles that we'll be auctioning off. And so if you're interested, I believe we'll probably use Oberdorf auction services as we've done in the past. And folks, what we do is we sell these vehicles, take the proceeds, put them right back into the equipment replacement fund and buy new vehicles with that fund. So moving on to number 7 is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving prevailing wage rates. The village is required each June to either conduct its own investigation into prevailing wage rates in the area or adopt the determination of the Illinois Department of Labor. It is recommended the board approve a resolution to adopt the prevailing rate of wages and publicly post the determination as required under the Act. This year's joint notice will be made with the Board of Education of Villa Park Elementary School District number 45, Salt Creek School District number 48, DuPage High School School District number 88, and the Villa Park Library. So folks, we do this on an annual basis. It's required by the state of Illinois, and we usually participate with the other entities I just read, and by doing that, reduces the cost of posting and the newspaper costs, things of that nature. So number 8, moving forward on the Committee of the Whole for Monday night, is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an intergovernmental agreement with Milton Township. In 2015, the village entered into an intergovernmental agreement with Milton Township to join forces in training and sharing Community Emergency Response Team CERT members. That agreement expired on March 31st, 2016. Staff recommends continuing this successful partnership by approving the resolution for the successor agreement. And folks, Milton Township has an outstanding training program for its CERT members. And so last year we went and developed an intergovernmental agreement. And so over the last year we've been participating in training with Milton Township with their CERT members, and it's been a wonderful benefit for the village and our members. So we want to continue that beneficial relationship. So moving on to number 9 is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing acceptance of a proposal from Professional Paving and Concrete Company, Inc. for seal coating village parking lots in the amount of $34,827. Village staff proposes crack sealing, seal coating, and restriping of the 2 village-owned commuter parking lots, that's at the Metro Station on the north side and the south side, and the Twin Lakes parking lot. And that's north of Target on North Avenue, next to the Twin Lakes ball field. 2 price quotes were obtained. The lowest cost contractor, Professional Paving and Concrete Company, Inc., submitted a price of $34,827. Funds are available in the Street Improvement Fund. This is non-referendum funds. An exemption from the bidding requirement under Section 2-220A2 is also required. So folks, we just want to crack seal and seal coat really 3 parking lots. It's the Metro on the north side, south side, and the Twin Lakes. And by doing all that, seal coating and crack filling, it helps to prevent damage where water gets into the cracks and then freezes and then expands and really damages the parking lot. So we crack fill and we seal coat, and then we're going to restripe, and they should look very nice when we're done. and last for several more years. So moving on to number 10 is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code for fiscal year 2015-2016. The village annually transfers a portion of its motor fuel tax, we also call it MFT, allotment from the state of Illinois to the corporate fund to defray expenses associated with street maintenance, snow removal, street light and traffic control energy, and traffic control maintenance. A resolution is required to authorize the MFT funds to be transferred. This resolution is for fiscal year 2015-2016 and in the amount of $527,500. And folks, we do this on an annual basis. We pass the resolution, transfer the funds, and then probably a year or so down the road, the state of Illinois does an audit to make sure our resolution actually matches the amount of funds that we transferred to cover our costs. So moving on to number 11, which is almost the same as number 10, is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code for fiscal year 2016-2017. So the village annually transfers a portion of its MFT, motor fuel tax, allotment from the state of Illinois to the corporate fund to defray expenses associated with street maintenance, snow removal, street light and traffic control energy, and traffic control maintenance. A resolution is required to authorize the MFT funds to be transferred. This resolution is for fiscal year 2016-2017, which is this current year, and in the amount of $527,500. And like I mentioned, number 10 and number 11 are very similar. One is for last fiscal year, tidying up, and then number 11 is this fiscal year's. And as I mentioned, about a year or two down the road, the state of Illinois will do an audit just to make sure our resolutions are correct and the amount of funds transferred for the projects match. Moving on to number 12 for the Committee of the Whole for Monday night, June 13th, is to consider a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing change order number 1, and it's a final change order, to the contract between the village and Girardi Sewer and Water Company for the 2015 North Princeton Water Main project, resulting in a deduction of $36,661. So the village has a contract with Girardi Sewer and Water Company of Norridge, Illinois for the 2015 North Princeton Water Main Improvement Project. Proposed final change order number 1 consists of the final balancing of contract quantities as measured in the field. The net amount of proposed final change order number 1 is a deduction of $36,661 for an adjusted final contract amount of $437,816. And folks, the deduction is a result of not as much pavement patching originally thought of. So they didn't need as much pavement patching, and so that's a direct deduct. So we saved $36,661. And of course, we'll put that right back into a fund, and we'll use it for another project. So moving on to 13 for Monday night for the Committee of the Whole for June 13th is to convene to the formal agenda. So we've got some interesting items on the Committee of the Whole for Monday night. Construction projects, large development with Golden Spike and Garden Station. So again, if you have some time, tune in. If you'd like to come in person and ask some questions about the agenda items, please look forward to seeing you that evening. So moving on to the formal, number 1 is the Village President's report, and that's the appropriate time for Village President Bullwinkle to kind of give us an update since the last time we met. She could be updating us on emails or phone calls or have questions for staff, and usually she does have questions about street construction projects, so I'm sure that we'll have Director Giskelis kind of give us an update on maybe Park Boulevard, North Princeton Water Main, and of course the Ardmore Streetscape project, and I'm sure you'd like to know a little bit more about that. Please hop on Ardmore and go north and take a look at that. The monuments are in, the landscaping is in, a lot of the trees are in. I think they're pulling electrical wires now and finishing up some light poles. Just beautiful. So please take advantage and take a ride on North Ardmore. And if you remember, I believe from the top of my head, that's about a $1.4 million project, and some of that is actually grant dollars. So it's a great project. That area deserves it. And then, of course, we've already talked about Garden Station, and that'll be located right near the improvements also. So great improvement to that area. So, excuse me, so moving on. So for the formal, number 2 is public comments on agenda items. And folks, that's the appropriate time for residents in the audience that evening to come to the podium, be recognized by President Bullwinkle, and ask questions or have comments about agenda items. And that would be items 4 and 5. So 4 would be consent, and 5 is going to be the vote on Garden Station. So number 4 is the consent agenda, and we have A through K. And as I always mention, folks, the consent agenda is used for items that are non-controversial, the things we believe that will be a unanimous vote, and we can quickly move through those and have a motion and a second and a roll call and be done, and then that leaves time for other discussion and other items. So number 4 is the consent agenda. So A is the bill listing dated June 13, 2016, and this is one of 2 in the amount of $84,165.64. B is the bill listing dated June 13, 2016, 2 of 2 in the amount of $1,687,616.07. C would be the minutes from the Village Committee of the Whole meeting for May 23, 2016. D would be minutes from the Village Formal Board meeting for May 23, 2016. E is the first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing the sale by public auction of personal property and seized vehicles owned by the village. And as I mentioned before, on the Committee of the Whole, we usually sell these vehicles when we take the proceeds and put them right back in the equipment replacement fund and then buy new vehicles. So I'll go through the vehicles that we want to auction off. So the first one is Village Vehicle 112. It's a 2000 interstate equipment trailer, and the trailer's kind of rusted through and really past its useful life. But hopefully someone else can weld it, take care of it, and use it. But we like to auction it off. Next is Village Vehicle number 5, which is a 2002 Ford Taurus. Next is a seized 1998 Ford Explorer Sport. Next is a seized 2000 GMC Yukon. Next is a seized 1993 Honda CB600 motorcycle. So folks, usually we put these on open-off auction, so if you're interested, kind of take a peek at that. Sometime next week, if it's approved, we'll put those on open-off and let the bidding commence. So moving on to F for the consent agenda for Monday night, June 13th, is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving prevailing wage rates. The village is required each June to either conduct its own investigation into prevailing wage rates in the area or adopt a determination of the Illinois Department of Labor. It is recommended the board approve a resolution to adopt the prevailing rate of wages and publicly post the determination as required under the Act. This year's joint notice will be made with the Board of Education of Villa Park Elementary School District number 45, Salt Creek School District number 48, DuPage High School School District number 88, and the Villa Park Library. And folks, by really doing this together with the other school districts and the library, reduces the cost of the posting in the newspapers, etc. And this is an annual requirement for the state of Illinois for the village to publish the prevailing wage rates. So moving on to G for the consent agenda is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an intergovernmental agreement with Milton Township. So in 2015, the village entered into an intergovernmental agreement with Milton Township to join forces in training and sharing community emergency response team members, otherwise known as CERT. That agreement expired on March 31st, 2016. Staff recommends continuing this successful partnership by approving the resolution for the successor agreement. So H for the consent agenda for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing acceptance of a proposal from Professional Paving and Concrete Company, Inc. for seal coating village parking lots in the amount of $34,827. Village staff proposes crack sealing, sealing coating, and restriping of the two village-owned commuter parking lots. And folks, again, that's the north and south parking lots at Metra, and the Twin Lakes parking lot. And folks, that's the parking lot next to the Twin Lakes ball field north of North Avenue and Target. Two price quotes were obtained. The lowest cost contractor, Professional Paving and Concrete Company, Inc., submitted a price of $34,827. Funds are available in the Street Improvement Fund, and this is the non-referendum fund. An exemption from the bidding requirement under Section 2-220, A2 is also required. So I for the consent agenda for Monday night is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code for fiscal year 2015 and 2016, this is last fiscal year. The village annually transfers a portion of its motor fuel tax, we also call it MFT, the allotment from the state of Illinois to the corporate fund to defray expenses associated with street maintenance, snow removal, street light and traffic control energy, and traffic control maintenance. A resolution is required to authorize the MFT funds to be transferred. This resolution is for fiscal year 2015-2016 and in the amount of $527,500. J, which is almost like I, is a resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code for fiscal year 2016-2017. The village annually transfers a portion of its motor fuel tax, MFT allotment, from the state of Illinois to the corporate fund to defray expenses associated with street maintenance, snow removal, street light, and traffic control energy and traffic control maintenance. A resolution is required to authorize the MFT funds to be transferred. This resolution is for fiscal year 2016-2017 and in the amount of $527,500, and that's this fiscal year we're in right now. So moving on to K for Monday night for the consent is resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing change order number 1, and this is a final change order, to the contract between the village and Girardi Sewer and Water Company for the 2015 North Princeton Water Main Improvement Project, and a deduction of $36,661. The village has a contract with Girardi Sewer and Water Company of Norridge, Illinois, for the 2015 North Princeton Water Main Improvement Project. Proposed final change order number 1 consists of the final balancing of contract quantities as measured in the field. The net amount of proposed final change order number 1 is a deduction of $36,661 for an adjusted final contract amount of $437,816. And folks, as I mentioned during the Committee of the Whole discussion, that deduction is a result of not as much pavement patching as required as originally thought. So the less pavement patching required, the less money needed to pay for the cost. So that'll result in a deduction of $36,661. and we'll take that savings and put it right back into the fund and use that for another project. So that is K, and that is the end of the consent agenda. So again, Monday night, June 13th, number 4 was the consent agenda, A through K. So now moving on to 5 for the formal agenda is the first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing a redevelopment agreement with Golden Spike LLC. So this is the first and final reading of that ordinance. So Golden Spike LLC proposes the development of a mixed-use complex to be known as Garden Station, which is intended to be located adjacent to Vermont to the north, Beverly to the east, Ardmore to the west, and Terrace Street to the south, approximately 150 feet north of the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad tracks. And folks, that is a long sentence for location, but it's really adjacent to the Metra parking lot on the north side. Garden Station will be comprised of approximately 230 dwelling units. These units include studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments, and 2-bedroom townhomes, ranging from approximately 600 square feet to approximately 1,400 square feet. Garden Station will also provide an indoor heated garage, clubhouse, fitness center, outdoor pool, and commercial retail space. This project will result in an investment by Golden Spike LLC of not less than $46 million. Due to the extraordinary cost to be incurred in connection with its development, including the demolition of the existing deteriorating and obsolete structures and revamping and reconstructing all utility systems required to service the project, Golden Spike LLC has requested financial assistance from the village in order to proceed with the project. And folks, just as I mentioned in the Committee of the Whole, we've already created the tax increment financing district, and then this project, its representatives will proceed through HUD through a special program. And when they do that, this is not a low or assisted rental program. This is a market, a fair market program. And what HUD will do is when the developers proceed through the process in the HUD program and reach the end, HUD will guarantee the loan, which right now we believe will be through PNC Bank. They'll guarantee that loan for 40 years at a very attractive interest rate, which will help to keep the development costs down. So it's a great development for that part of the village, along with the Ardmore streetscape. So a lot happening in that area. Number 6 on the formal board meeting agenda for Monday night is public comments on non-agenda items. And folks, that would be the appropriate time for citizens in the audience to come to the podium, be recognized by President Bowinkle, and then have public comments on non-agenda items. And usually there are comments for staff, their questions, etc., and we'd be happy to answer those if we can, or sometimes we don't have the information readily available and we'll get back to that resident with the correct information. 7 for the agenda for Monday night is the village clerk's report. And folks, that's the appropriate time for our village clerk, Kornecki, to kind of give us a background on what's been happening in her role as the village clerk since the last time we met. Could be emails, phone calls, and things of that nature. Number 8 is the village trustees report, and that's the appropriate time for the trustees to kind of give everyone a summary of what's been happening in their role as trustees since the last time we met, or they may have questions for staff on projects and things of that nature. Number 9 is the village manager's report, and that's the appropriate time for myself to kind of give a summary to you and folks in the audience and the board of what's been happening in my role as village manager since the last time we met. And you know, like I always say, I try to keep it interesting, and sometimes I talk about legislative House or Senate bills and things of that nature. And so the Senate and the House are in session trying to work through the budget impasse. So maybe there'll be some breakthroughs by Monday night. Not sure about that, but We'll hope for that anyway. Moving on to number 10 is the village attorney's report, and that's the appropriate time for our village attorneys to kind of give us a summary of what's happening in their role as village attorneys since the last time we met. And that really could be a legislative House bill or a Senate bill and its impact on the village. Number 11 is to move into executive closed session. So that would be A, 5 ILCS 120-2C1, personnel matters and collective bargaining. Could be B, 5 ILCS 120-2C5, purchase or lease of property. C, 5 ILCS 120-C6, sale or lease of property. Could be D, 5 ILCS 120-2C11, pending litigation. E, 5 ILCS 120-2C21, discussion of closed session minutes. And folks, we'll come out and there will need to be a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Villa Park and Teamsters Local 700. This agreement is effective May 1st, 2016 through April 30th, 2018. And that would be number 12 on the formal agenda for Monday night, June 13th. And then we move into number 13, which is the adjournment. So folks, we've got a very good committee of the whole and formal agenda for Monday night. Plenty of interesting things. Plenty of development taking place within Villa Park. A lot of road projects taking place. And you know what's just occurring this week is a reconstruction of High Ridge Road. So remember, that's being reconstructed and there's a detour. Reconstruction of Park Boulevard still occurring, and it looks like they've got the binder pavement down now, the curb and gutters in. They're working on landscaping now, the sod and things of that nature, and I've actually walked down it. Looks like they've done a very good job, replaced some aprons of the driveways and some little bit of sidewalks connected to it. And then we've got the North Princeton water main starting up and some other street improvements. So a whole lot of things happening. And you know, it won't be long before Kiwanis will have the concerts in the park for July. And then the village has some concerts planned for the month of August on Thursday nights at Cortese Veterans Memorial Park. And if I'm not mistaken, we still have the VFW Fish Fries on Friday night, still have the VFW Wingding Night on Thursdays, and the car shows should be taking place now in the Cortese Veterans Memorial Park, and I call it the Horseshoe around there. And folks, if you have some time, please stop down to the Cortese Veterans Memorial Park. We recently had the ribbon cutting on Memorial Day, and what a beautiful park. What a beautiful day that was too, in the ribbon cutting. I think that's the most people I've ever seen on Memorial Day at a VFW event. I would say there was probably 200 people in attendance. It was rather warm, but boy, what an event. So if you have some time, come down Kenilworth and stop and take a look at that park. It's beautiful. And then we're currently remodeling the depot, which is to the north of the park. And so kind of take a peek at that. We've painted the outside, we've added the deck, we've got a pavilion, we've painted the inside, put ADA bathrooms in. They had some bathrooms, but they weren't ADA accessible, and now they are. So, and that building, just so you know, well, you can lease that if you like, or rent it for a day, have a small event there, and you can find out more about that on our Park and Recreations page on our website. So, my name is Rich Keener. It's my honor to be your village manager for the Village of Villa Park. Hope to see you Monday night. If not, hope to see you soon on the Prairie Path possibly. Take care, be safe, and we'll see you soon.